Good morning, everyone. It is 9:31 a.m. and I'm going to go ahead and call this, October 2nd meeting of the Housing Authority of Travis County to order. Can I get a roll call, please?
Yes. Chair Getchie?
Present.
Yes. Vice Chair Flores?
Present.
Commissioner Brown?
Present.
Commissioner Paver?
Present.
Commissioner Roberts?
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Has anyone signed up for public forum or citizens communication today?
Yeah. We're working. Okay. No one for the general public comment.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we are starting this by opening a public hearing on the HATC Public Housing Agency Annual Plan. Can I do these all at once?
Yes, ma'am.
HATC Payment Standard Changes, HATC Housing Choice Voucher Administrative Plan, HATC Moving to Work Supplement to the PHA Plan, and HATC Public Housing Agency 5-Year Plan. Do we have anyone signed up to speak at our public hearing?
No, ma'am.
Is there any discussion? Does it need an action or just an open hearing?
No, just opening and closing it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hearing none, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing portion of our meeting. Moving on to the consent agenda, including the approval of the minutes of our September 4th regular meeting and the CEO Executive Director's report. Any discussion on these items? If none, I'll entertain a motion to approve our consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Approved by unanimous voice vote. Moving on to discussion items, and we start with our CEO Executive Director's report.
Thank you. And I'll turn it over to Deputy Director and Affordable Housing Director.
Oh, hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and get started, if you don't mind, with Eastern Oaks. Now, before we get to the slides, before we get to this is what Carlton's going to present. I have Sharon as well as Kim here for you guys. I did want to give you guys a quick updates from last month's meeting to this month. We're continuing our monthly town hall meetings at all sites. The Inspire inspection reports, at the time that we filed the report over to you guys, we still hadn't yet received the official report, although recently, I believe this week, we just received access to that. So we're going to go ahead and review those. Those are going to be for Alexander Summit and Eastern Oaks. They consist with also curb appeal inspections, housekeeping inspections. So it's a multitude of reports there. We're going to go ahead and review them and then share them with Carlton Group as well, so that if there's anything noted there, we'll go ahead and get an action plan first, right? So that we can see how we're going to tackle it with our maintenance technicians, just to be ready for those upcoming Inspire inspections coming up as well. Yes.
I have a question.
Sure.
Were there any exigent health and safety issues?
No, not from Alexander Oaks, and we didn't receive an official report from the other properties, so I don't believe we have any of those. Yeah. So for Eastern Oaks, the 2024 OCAP is complete. The 2025 OCAP has been signed and submitted to the HUD, so we're just waiting on the final approval before we start implementing that as well. We have a capital project there for the screens. We have selected a general contractor to go ahead and complete the job. Hopefully, if not by the end of this week, early next week, we'll start engaging with them so that we can get that project started. The screen project is going to be for all the oaks, so it'll be for Eastern, Alexander, and Summit Oaks.
Who have you selected?
His TBC services. Over at Summit Oaks, we had a TDACA on-site monitoring review on August 27th, although we're still waiting for the official report for those findings. And these, the desktop review is mainly concerning files, right? So again, we're just waiting for the actual report to come in. Once we have it, then we can go ahead and share it with you guys if you guys like as well. The Summit Oaks as well as Alexander Oaks, the 2025 OCAF has already been approved, and we're in discussions with Carlton so that we can begin implementing that as well. Carson Creek, everything seems to be going well. We do continue receiving work orders, obviously, and we'll get to that part a little bit later. We did have our first town hall meeting. When was it? September the 12th. Unfortunately, only one tenant was able to just join us, but we're continuing sending these notices to them. As well, we send post notes as well as the agenda and everything that was shared to all those tenants that did not make it. So we mail out those notices to them. Over with Maynard Town, we also had an electronic desk monitoring review there on August the 19th. We're still waiting for that official report, so once we receive it, of course, we'll share it with you guys. A vendor has been selected to install the video surveillance cameras for Maynard 1 as well as Maynard 2. We're working through the details with the contract and all that good stuff before we start implementing and sending out notices to the tenants so that they can be aware that somebody's going to go out there and start working on those, installing those cameras there for them as well. With Ecoland, they're helping us with the landscape architectural services. We did already sign the contract as stated last month. We're waiting on a couple of details. They're generating the scope of work, and then once we got that, we'll start engaging and start moving in that step, with that step as well. We did identify a contractor as well to complete certain projects out there, like the interior work for the upgrades over at on those vacant units, right? We are waiting for their official scope of work. I'm not sure if we've already received it yet, but we're waiting for those details so that we can start the project there as well. Same thing, we're gonna start notifying the residents. Again, we're gonna focus on those vacant units first and then move on to those occupied units as well. Over at Maynard Town 2, we've also selected, or we're doing an upgrade there with the entry door. There's a push button access and ADA access that we're going to allow the tenants to have just for those wheelchair mobility that have that accessibility as well. And then we're also adding on those railings as well. They're going to be around the pergola as well as through the entryway as well through there. But that's pretty much it as far as updates from last month to this month. So I'll let Sharon kick off with Eastern Oaks just to give you guys an idea of how the properties are running. Unless you guys have any other questions. Awesome.
Thank you, Carlos. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you for letting us present again this month. I do want to introduce you to Kim Hayes. This is our new regional manager.
Thank you. She just recently started with Carlton Living and is assigned to the HATC portfolio. So she reports directly to me and will be the direct supervisor for all of the site staff. So she will start coming and joining me for these meetings on a monthly basis.
Good morning.
Welcome. All right, so for Eastern Oaks, the data is from September 16th, so a little earlier in the month than what we're normally, used to presenting. So I think just overall in general, when you look at the delinquency figures, they're a little high compared to what we're used to reporting. So just keep that in mind, but I will definitely be able to give you some more updated information throughout the presentation. So occupancy was 93% at on the 16th, and we did have 2 vacants. There was $7,063 in delinquency. We closed the month with $6,317. Of that amount, there's about 3 or 4 people
who, through the gross rent change, have some balances that were questioned. So we went ahead and are taking a step to review those balances further, rather than just assuming that everything was correct and that there's no conversations that still need to be had. So no one was served with any type of notice to vacate or anything like that, because they did question the balances. So we'll be working through that this month, just to make sure everything is fully accurate and everybody's in agreement. So everybody else that had delinquent amounts were just small balances. So there's about 4 or 5 people that we want to work with and just make sure that we get appointments set to be able to confirm that everything is fine.
So is this their first, excuse me, is this the first walkthrough that they have with the delinquent balances, or this is?
Since the 2024 gross rent change, yes.
Okay.
So this property was the last one that we did. We did Summit and Alexander first.
Okay.
Yeah. So during the month there were, let's see, we didn't have any open service requests at Eastern for the month. But, you know, as we've been discussing over the last couple of months, you know, we have made an effort to really document all the service requests for all the properties, and I think you're going to see that continue as, you know, maybe a higher number than what you're used to seeing month over month or whatever. But I think our team is doing an amazing job of staying on top of them. So kudos to them for having 0 open requests at the end of the month. Anybody have any questions on Eastern?
Yeah, that's about a third of the tenants that are delinquent. What, you know, you have some idea what's causing that? What's the discrepancy? Have you looked at that?
That's what that's what's under consideration now. Most of the people that have a higher balance, let's just say 1 month plus, they have questions about the changes made with the gross rent change. So we want to be considerate of them, just like we were with the Summit and Alexander people, to make sure that they are fully aware and understand what's caused this balance and what's caused this shift, just to make sure that it is accurate.
What are we doing to help them get those balances taken care of?
So we'll be working with the team on site to be able to have appointments to come in so that they can sit down and go through their changes, just to make sure that everybody is all in agreement and all on the same page. And if there are any adjustments that still need to be made, we will make those adjustments. But I feel like there is, we owe it to them because they expressed concern to be able to have those conversations. So that's the next step. But there's, let me just tell you, 1, 2, 3. There's 4 out of the total delinquent from the month end that need to be looked at again.
And how much?
My question, and excuse me, is there, what can we do to, there are entities out there that can help these people if there is something? What are we doing to facilitate that?
Okay, I understand. So if the balances are accurate, are you asking about services for rent relief and things like that?
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have a list of people that we would refer to. I think for this portfolio and generally in this area, El Buen is a very good source. We refer people all the time to that nonprofit, but there's others too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, just, we want to make sure we're doing everything we can to help.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And my question is, how much are we talking about in terms of delinquent? What's the amounts that we're?
Oh, okay. So it's just 2 months. So, for example, one person has a balance of $1,554, and that would be the 30-day balance prior and then the current balance. So, yeah, it's not aged out like.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right. Okay, so we'll move to Summit. Summit was 96% occupied, and there was one vacant unit. This particular unit has been vacant for a little bit, but it's leased and had a denial and leased and had a denial. So we're still working the wait list on that particular unit. The delinquency was 1553 on the 16th, and it was 1426 at month end. And that's one person. So we have unit number 8 is the one person that's delinquent. And then service requests for Summit. Let me just run through my stuff. Right, okay. So at the end of the month, there were, the report says there were 2 service requests that were open. We had 20 total, and they are, again, all a range of just normal plumbing requests, you know, clogged sinks and things like that. Just nothing major, but since have been resolved.
I did notice on this that about half of those 20, 8 of them were for plumbing. Were they, I guess, I was going to ask if you could speak to that. Were they all minor clogged sinks and things like that? There's not like a systemic plumbing problem?
Yeah, no, it's a combination of sinks, clogged toilets, running, just normal sink faucet repairs, things like that. Nothing major. Any questions on Summit? Okay. All right, moving to Alexander Oaks. Alexander Oaks was 96% occupied with 2 vacant. We did have an application pending at the time of this report. Delinquency was $13,029, and it's at month end it was $10,640. We did have a few. Let's see. Alexander. No, we had 19 service requests in total, and no outstanding at the end of the month. And again, the same thing. We did a lot of minor appliances. We did a lot of filters, a couple of toilets, water leaks, things like that. But again, nothing major.
And I think Alexander Oaks was where we previously had some pest control problems. I don't see pest control as one of the listed service request items. I guess is that just because it's under control?
We haven't received any pest control outside of the normal routine. Yeah.
That's great.
I know.
Really, thank you.
And then what's the average delinquency amount that we have here?
On Alex, hold on, let me get that for you. Ooh. Okay, so I would say the average delinquency is going to be 2 months rent, so probably about $1,400. And this is a property where we recently had a staffing change. The position's currently open. So what we have done is, oh my goodness, that's loud. What we've done is our assistant that offices at Summit is covering Alex now to help us while we still look and interview for that position. She did a great job taking over Summit. As you can see, there's outside of just one person that's delinquent. And that's her main focus right now, is looking through the delinquency to make sure that we have everything correct, and anybody that needs to have assistance will be provided that. So in a very cautious move because of this unexpected staffing change, we did make the decision to not move forward with any prior notices for non-payment or collection notices that the previous staff member had sent out. So we started all over again, just to make sure that all the proper notices were done the first time. So that was this month. So I feel like we'll start to see some improvements as she makes her appointments and meets with these people to find out what's going on, and if we can help them through a third-party nonprofit get caught up, or what their situation is. Yeah.
It's alarming to me that, you know, you got that much delinquency in 2 properties. And that's, you know, we need to look at that closer, in my
Absolutely.
opinion.
Yeah, it's probably the biggest concern that we have as well is now the occupancy has kind of come up and stabilizing throughout the portfolio. Delinquency is definitely a concern. And we just want to make sure that we, especially at this property, are fair to the residents and give them the right notice, and that all of those are correct and accurate. So,
Thank you.
any other questions for Alexander Oaks?
Thank you.
Okay. All right, moving to Carson. At the time the reports were generated, we were 94% occupied and 100% leased. We did have 1 vacant unit and 1 applicant at that time. We did have $2,367 of delinquent rent, and as of closeout, that was $79. So again, I think it's just a timing issue of when we generated these reports for the board. So I don't have any concerns about ongoing delinquencies at Carson. They typically pay very, very regularly, which is good. And then for service requests, there were 18 total in the month. Again, a lot of just kind of small items, you know, after they've gotten moved in and settled in. We did some plumbing work there, some hardware, locks and keys, a bulk trash removal, just minor stuff, but, you know, nothing major.
Great.
Any questions on Carson?
No, I think it's great. I mean, just seeing that there's no outstanding service requests, it says to me that our general is responding to the service request, so that's
Yes.
the new general, right?
Yes,
So that's
18
plus.
for the month is pretty good for, you know, for them being newly moved back in. And I do, you know, we have 2 maintenance people that are dedicated, obviously, to the portfolio, and they do a really great job of
Okay,
responding.
So it's our maintenance people, or it's
Yeah, so just to clarify, yeah, the general contractor went out there and completed the entire work, right, for the renovation project. He still, just in case there's some defects, let's call it that, he would just come back, obviously, but generally these work orders, our maintenance technicians are able to take care of them, which is
That's
what
great.
Sharon has shared, yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, so when our maintenance people are not busy at Carlson Creek, are they working at other properties
Yes,
as
ma'am.
well?
They rove around throughout the portfolio.
Oh, okay, that's wonderful.
Yes.
So all of the maintenance requests that we've had, on all of the properties, they're the ones that's managing, and we have two
Yes, ma'am.
people. That's awesome.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
great.
We keep them busy.
That's great.
Any other discussion on Carson Creek?
Anything else? Okay. All right, then moving to Manortown 1. So this is the property that, you know, we've really had a lot of focus on together with Carlos and Cora. Occupancy was 73% at the time of the report. Today it's 79%. And I just wanted to share that the leased percentage has increased tremendously over the last month. We're now 97% pre-leased. So the vacant units that we have that Carlos mentioned during his presentation have been pre-leased. We are pending those move-ins based on the renovation schedule, but excited to see that the rents that were implemented after last meeting and then getting back out to the property, showing and making appointments, they resulted in leases. And all of those people that have applied, they have gone through the initial background criminal and have passed. So it's just now a matter of qualifying them on the tax credit side for the income qualifications part. So as long as they meet our qualification guidelines, then they would be moving in as soon as we have the units ready for them.
If I may ask Patrick or Carlos, what are we doing to help people, educating them on budget management and things of that nature? Or is there anything out there that can work with these people as they move in to try to educate them on how to manage their finances?
So over at Maynardtown, we are offering resident services, right? We haven't yet contacted somebody or an agency that is able to help out with that type of service. But we are doing, let's say, computer learning classes as well for them, so that we can kind of have them go into this new technology era, right? That way they can engage with the loft system. It's an easier process for them, things like that will help them. We're also doing arts and crafts and other type of activities there for them, but we're reaching out to other resources, other agencies that would be able to help out with something like that as well, for sure. And then we'll start sending out notices to our tenants, just notifying them about it.
That's my point. The education on technology and all that stuff is great, but if they're not paying the rent and they're struggling, that's
Yeah.
I can speak to that too.
I'll speak to it.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
okay. Good morning. So we have made a contact to do financial literacy with a bank that does community development and education. So we will be starting that hopefully maybe in December or January with our contact. So she's willing to go to sites, all of them, to do financial literacy, and then possibly look into doing like money management as well. So we just made that contact. Carlos doesn't know that yet. So so I just made that contact. So we'll be starting that in the next month. So
as soon as possible, if the numbers keep going,
So-
Yes, sir.
they're going in the
Yes, sir.
wrong direction.
So with that, let me just share the update. So on the 16th, yes, delinquency was $5,775. At month end, it was $51. So again, timing.
But I'm just talking about overall.
Yes, sir.
You got 14,000 in one and an 11,000 in another, and so that it appears that there needs to be some type of assistance in education, and that's a good point. There's a number of banks. Which bank are you using?
I'm gonna play the new card here in Austin, Texas, but I do believe it's South State Bank.
There's another contact, and Patrick knows
Okay, just okay.
with Frontier.
Okay.
They have a community development type
Thank
person
you.
that can do
Yeah,
that.
we've got a few contacts related to financial literacy, and I will just say that sometimes it's not necessarily just an educational issue. Sometimes residents are making a point about not paying rent or paying at a certain time. So it's not always about like, oh, I'm just not managing my money. It's maybe something else. It's just, and that probably is a digression into another topic, but we are working with the residents to help them understand, taking responsibility and taking action. I think some of the improvements that are being made are going to make folks happier about their experience and want to pay the rent on time. You know what I mean? So there's issues other than just the idea of understanding how to manage your money, but we do have a plethora of resources and contacts, to include Frontier and some others that we're working with that'll come out and do that education for us.
I just thought I'd throw that
Yes.
out. There's other resources out there that can help.
There's
Okay.
we've got some good contacts.
Yeah.
Any other questions on Maynard 1?
No, but I just want to add to what Wilma was saying as well, and that is, one of the things that I find that happens sometimes is that when you're in a situation where leniency is continuously given, and people tend to take advantage of that. right? So I think that, when we lay out whatever the ground rules are, that we just have to be consistent in across all the properties and how we manage it. So, so people don't just take our generosity for granted.
Good point. Agree.
Got the message.
Oh, yeah.
That's all.
Any other comments on Maynardtown 1?
I do have one other question. We were talking about changing out appliances and stuff like it in Maynardtown 1. What's the status of that? What are we, because at one point we were talking about like some of the older stoves, maybe finding somewhere that they could be used versus just scrapping them. What's the status of that?
So we have not made any further purchases for the vacant units. Some of them were already replaced, but I do feel like there is an opportunity for us to be able to coordinate with any type of donation. One of the things that we want to talk about further is selection of the replacement ones, just to make sure that we all agree on what to purchase going forward, and then certainly on how that would look for the occupied units when we get to that. So, yeah.
And part of the larger strategy, as you know, from the needs assessment that was done and the work that we've got planned for this year and next year, it'll be inclusive of replacement of appliances in addition to updating and upgrading of the hardware, the painting and all the other stuff that Carlos mentioned with the landscaping and the laundry facility and that sort of thing. So all those things are in the works, right? And so, but there was some replacement that had commenced also with some of the existing residents, but of course we're trying to coordinate with the vacant units and making those the way we like to see them and then move forward. So there is a plan. I don't know if that's Carl will expand on that when we get to the Maynardtown improvements, but maybe that's when it'll be discussed here in a second.
I just want, if I may, and we may want to consider with the funds generated through the foundation, if there is a dire need or something of that nature, and you can justify it, in my opinion, I think that's one way to initially get some of that large delinquency down. So using resources after they've gone through an educational process and et cetera. Yeah, that's something that...
Yeah, so we have in draft I think it's called eviction prevention policy that we are sort of been mulling over, which essentially speaks to that. After you've exhausted all your resources, the plan or draft plan envisions you being able to receive up to 1 month's rent cumulative over the course of a year to be able to help in cases where you are having challenges. But we just haven't brought it forward yet. But we have one in draft, a plan to talk about such things. Just a matter of timing. But there's been a lot of discussion collectively in the region amongst all the housing agencies about eviction prevention. So we said we would come up with our own, and we have, and we'll share that with you all. So that is something that was being...
Corey and I are working hard to get that money. we want to use it too.
So at the end of the year, this would eliminate
Yeah.
our need for write-offs, or at least lower the amount?
Well, I don't know.
We have to approve
Maybe
the policy.
coupled with the financial literacy and all these other things, we will see lower, not as much of a substantial need to do write-offs. But yeah, possibly. I think that all those things should be going in the right direction.
we can use non-federal funds to do that too.
We certainly could.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Sorry.
No, not at all. Discussion is very much the point.
Is there anything else on Maynardtown 1?
Okay. All right, moving to Manor 2. The property was 95% occupied with one vacant at the time the reports were generated, and there was one application. Delinquency, as you see, was 843. At closeout, it was 0, so that was just one household. And then there were no service requests that were outstanding. We did, again, see, good numbers of service requests. We did there were 28 total, but we did do 20 HVAC filter changes. So that's part of the preventative maintenance. And then obviously, when a building is so new, you just kind of have to do it a little bit more often. So that accounted for that many requests. And then again, just minor things like somebody's pull chain needed to be extended from their ceiling fan. And then a shower head needed and a tub needed to be adjusted because it was slow draining. But again, nothing out of the ordinary and very routine. Any questions for Maynard 2?
Just one question. How long has the unit been vacant?
I do not have the vacant information right now, but I can certainly follow up on that. It may actually be.
You're talking about the one that's vacant there? It's always been vacant.
Since
It opened in February. We've
what's
never
Is
had
it
a
an
resident.
ADA unit, or what is the reason that?
this might be
The T-Shack unit.
It's one of those units that needs a referral from the
T-Shack.
To T-Shack.
From T-Shack. So
Yeah.
we need to go through the referral process first, and it's a lengthy process at first. And once they release the unit to us, then we can release it to the public and just lease it out to anyone. So that's really the biggest concern with these units.
Explain to me, I'm sorry, what's T-Shack?
Yeah, Texas State Affordable Housing Corporation. So they gave us funds, I think $250 for this project, and so as a result, we had to set aside 2 units for folks that had a specific disability, I believe.
Oh, okay.
And so after so many days, it can be released to the general public who meet the qualifications. So there was a little bit of a delay with respect to the occupancy for two, and one has been occupied.
So do they have a wait list, or?
Yes, they had, right, they do. And then once that is, I think we're past that now, right?
Yeah.
So now we have the ability to seek out our own.
So was it for 1 year you had to hold it for them, and then after
No,
that?
they give us a amount of months. I just don't
No,
remember
it's
off the top of my head that they keep it there. And so what they're doing is with the counselor, they're reaching out to folks, trying to see if they would qualify, go through the application process on their end. And if somebody qualifies on their end, then they send it over to us, and then they have to meet our qualifications. So it's a 2-step process. It's very lengthy, unfortunately, but that's just the rules that we have to follow through the T-Shack for those specific units.
And it's actually since been occupied, so the property's 100%.
Oh, great.
Oh,
There you go.
okay. There you
Very
go.
recent,
Yeah.
very recent.
Very good.
But we now know about T-Shack. And,
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the education.
Yes.
Of course.
And I remember having this discussion. It just didn't click. So thank you.
Of course.
Any other questions or discussion on Maynard Town 2? Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
So next we're gonna move into Maynardtown improvements. So here's just an overview. I broke it down for you guys in different phases on what we're working on over at Maynardtown. This is phase 1, which all of these items have already been completed. I kind of gave you guys a breakdown of what the actual cost was. So the total cost there at the bottom, it'll be for four of those items there for phase 1. And then if we can move on to phase two. Phase two are the current working projects. Now these are, I touched base a little bit earlier on these. They're the interior unit upgrades, the security cameras, the exterior cleaning, painting, sealing, and then the landscape architecture services. Again, we're still working through those projects. For most of these, if not all, we've already received bids and already in the approval process. So hopefully before the end of this month, and if not early November, we'll be finished with a couple, if not all of these projects there as well. So we're hoping to finish that, and then if we move on to phase three, these are the last remaining projects that we have in line for 2025 to complete. So as soon as phase two completes, we'll start moving on to phase three, and hopefully we can get it done before the end of this quarter. And then in phase four, we're going to start in 2026, the projected items to complete. These are other items that the inspection report that we had pulled a while back gave us some suggestions of what to do around the property. And so we are projecting these to be completed in 2026. You guys have any questions?
Mechanical and electrical system upgrades, what does that include?
So this is going to be for the elevator itself. There's additional upgrades that the elevator possibly is warranted for. I don't have the specifics right now with the report itself, but we've already addressed the more immediate ones, which were the buttons, the phone service as well, the ventilation inside of the unit there as well. Some of it might be really the entire cart being replaced, the interior stuff like that. So it's just a little bit more upgrades on there. Yeah.
So it's really for the elevator? Is what you're
Right, for the most part, yes, ma'am.
And that
Yeah.
was on phase three too, correct?
Right, part of it, yeah, we're working on certain areas on the actual elevator itself, replacing them at different times. Yeah. Any questions?
Do we have a general cost estimate on those 3 and 4?
I don't have that in front of me, no, but I can get to you guys either next month, if not before. If you guys would like that, I can send over cost analysis or a projected amount that they've told us.
In the estimate, the P&A that was circulated, there was an estimate cost.
Yeah,
And we can recirculate that,
yeah,
Carlos,
Yeah.
but it gave some rough estimate of what they thought it would cost. Obviously, it's a year, it'll be a year, post a year, so I'll just assume that the number probably will go up a little bit, but we do have those.
And I would also like to recommend that for the soil erosion control measures, that we do a geotechnical report, so you can actually evaluate the soil to really know what you're doing in terms of erosion control in that area. Because you just can't assume that you're just going to go in and add more soil, and you don't really know what the type of soil it is that you're working with. So, and I think that typically a geotech report will probably cost somewhere around $4,000, $5,000 or something. But I think that in the end, it will be beneficial for us to do that, so that when we do make these measurement controls, that we're doing the right thing to make sure that it's something that gives us some longevity in terms of what we're working with.
yes, ma'am.
In addition, Commissioner Brown and others, Manor area has always been a farmland type area.
That's right.
And the soil is really not stable. You know, in 10 years or 15 years, it always shifts.
Yeah.
So a lot of sand in that area. Not like closer you move west and it's all brick and
Stone.
rock.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so that would be my recommendation. I would not just have somebody come out and do something that we think that, we really get a test result of what's the soil, how do you actually, prevent erosion. for the
Yes, ma'am.
type of soil.
Yes,
Carlos,
ma'am.
I wanted to go back to the elevator system. Wouldn't
Sure.
it be more cost effective to do all of this at one time when it comes to labor than piecemealing it?
Possibly, although the funds that we may have, so we'll have to get with the finance and see if that's something that we'll probably have to shift some of the other projects aside and see if we can just focus on this instead based off the cost, right? And if we can, then I don't see a problem.
yeah, and that's
So the issue with the elevator, most of those that were done already were immediate concern, like the phone not working. And we, believe it or not, believe me, we hear from the residents in the city and everybody else. So I think we did some immediate addressing of those issues, with the obviously long-term systemic issue being needing to be addressed. So that's what I recall from that. That's why those things kind of moved up on the list, because those things had to get fixed. The phone has to be operable. There's got to be some other things that are in place. So those were like paramount in terms of addressing.
In addition, with the fact that we're going into a budget preparation for next year, so we can at least budget to that for that and allocate it. That's the reason why we need
Yes.
some of the numbers now to look at that and help Suba and others to get
Yes.
that in place.
And we have a rough estimate from the P&A too. So, yes, sir.
Any
Okay.
other discussion on Maynard Town improvements?
Thank you, guys.
That moves us on to it. I guess I should ask, is that it for,
Financial report, I think it is.
No.
is that it for the CEO Director's report? That moves us into B, residential spotlight, good news.
Yes, we wanted to try something new, and you'll let us know if you think it's a good idea, but we wanted to highlight some great things going on relative to the resident experience. So today we have Jackie, our resident social worker, who works with our ACB and COC clients, to share a little bit with us. So I'm going to ask Jackie if she and our guests can come up to the front, and she will take it from there.
Alrighty, everybody, hello, good morning. Hello. I am the social worker, my name is Jackie, and I brought Mr. Terry Turner today. Good morning.
You guys can sit if you want, like get the.
If you sit
Yeah.
over here on the microphone.
Yeah,
the
just
folks
sit
online
at the
can
further
hear you.
end.
Perfect.
Yeah, they're gonna make you stand. There, you can have a seat.
Yeah, I didn't know if I had to stand and present to everybody,
Yeah,
but I was
sorry,
going to do
yeah.
it if I had to. Right. Yeah, so here is Mr. Turner. He will be sharing his story with you guys and his recent accomplishment that the Housing Authority was able to help with.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. My name is Terry Turner. And I represent all the constituents that you all have been discussing. And I am a product of that. And I also went through all the classes for financial, how to manage your finances. I went to a lot of classes given by the Arch. That was my start. And, well, I was afforded a lot of things, and I took full advantage of them. I am getting ready to re-enter the productive part of society because of all the support that this board and all of you have given me. And again, I represent those people that y'all talk about, those people that y'all are advocating for. You're doing a great job, and I'm here to tell you that. I'm going to be a RS, a support peer specialist. I will also be specializing in mental health peer specialist as well. To be a dual thing because I was dual diagnosed. And I came here in 2005 with a substance abuse problem. So I couldn't manage my money. We had to deal with that. We had to deal with my mental illness as well. I had times when I would be like, I couldn't pay the rent because of various things that I had going on. And like I said, I went through classes. I was a part of Wrap Around with the Arch because they had to wrap around me so that I can keep my house in. And I have learned how to prioritize my housing. I put that first. And Jackie will tell you, I'm on it. I mean, you know, I will only call her in if I can't handle it. I have to use my network. If it's something bigger than me, I'm not too proud to go back and say, hey, I need your help. And this is what he was talking about. Your was it Patrick? Did I say your name right?
Yes.
That's what he was alluding to. They need the education. They need to know that you have to keep your housing first. You need a base. Before you can do anything, you need to keep the base safe. And you can work from there. And like I said, I'm getting ready to be certified. Thank you. Thank you for your support, your contributions, paying my fees. And you're doing a great job. I wouldn't be here without you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations
Thank
on your
you.
certification. And thank you for coming to speak with us.
Oh, I was more than happy.
Well, I love those certificates you got on that picture there.
Oh,
keep up
yeah,
the
yeah.
Good work. Congratulations again.
And I didn't get it. I don't think you can see it. My minister's certificate as well.
Okay. Okay. Well,
So yes, I'm active in my church, and like I said,
well, great.
I give thanks to God, and I give thanks to people like you. I do believe it's my higher power that put me in y'all's way, so that y'all would, you know, give me favor. Thank you.
Mr. Turner, don't be surprised if this group doesn't call you to be a testimony to some of the other properties that we have, because I think this is a great message, and you know, it could be a great ministry as well. So thank you so much for coming and
I've
sharing.
been doing it for Front Steps for a while. I spoke in a number of the millionaire bachelor banquets, fundraisers, and I've also been on news for helping house the homeless.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Channel 5. I've been all over. But it's all about advocacy for people like myself who haven't made it to where I am.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm going into this employment phase. This is what I need to give back.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
I'm up here, I need to reach down and pull somebody else up as well.
Well, I tell you, there's nothing more meaningful than hearing from somebody that's lived the life that you've lived, and to see them rise above it and be successful in what they're doing. So thank you for coming and sharing today.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for your assistance.
Thank you, Mr. Turner.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you. Thanks, Jackie.
Come
Thanks,
on
Jackie.
around, and I want to shake your hand. Come on around here.
Mr. Turner, go on up.
So just to add the funding that we have, we were able to provide the educational services that you need.
We're very grateful to you for coming to speak with us today.
Yeah, we'll just take some land. And they made me do it. Whole staff, and they're all like saying,
Yeah, that's a good one.
Thank you.
That's a good one.
All right.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thank you all for
thanks,
having me.
Terry. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jackie, for bringing Mr. Turner to us, and congratulations again on your certification, and we just can't wait to see what you do.
Most definitely. We're excited.
Yes.
Fantastic. I liked residential spotlight good news.
Okay, all right. We'll keep it.
Moving on to action items. We start now with resolution number HATC 2025-11 to approve HATC Public Housing Agency annual plan. This is one of the items that we had public hearing on this morning. There was no comment or discussion in public hearing, and now this is offered to the board for approval. Is there any discussion on the HATC Public Housing Agency annual plan? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I move that we approve the HATC Public Housing Agency annual plan.
Are you willing to approve all of them, all the items?
We can do it.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and read them all then. That's
Okay.
probably a better idea. So, thank you. I'll, I guess, table that motion. And I'll also introduce resolution number HATC 2025-12 to approve HATC payment standard changes. Resolution number HATC 2025-13 to approve HATC Housing Choice Voucher HCV Administrative Plan. Resolution number HATC 2025-14 to approve HATC Moving to Work Supplement to the PHA Plan. And Resolution HATC 2025-15 to approve HATC Public Housing Agency 5-year plan. These are all the items that we had public hearing on this morning. So now I would see if you would amend your motion to approve.
Well, it didn't
All
get
the
a second. It
resolutions.
didn't get a second.
Well, we
okay.
did it first, yeah. So I move that we approved resolution number HATC 2025-11 through 15.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries by unanimous voice vote. Okay, moving on to board reports. Wanted to follow up on some of these. I guess I'll start with Human Resources Committee. I do have something to say on that really quickly. I did send out, the board had approved a new CEO, Executive Director review matrix. I did send that out to the board and asked that the board return that to me October 23rd so that I can combine everyone's comments and we can discuss it at our November board meeting. Is everyone on board with that plan? Yes. Is there any other Human Resources Committee items to discuss? Is there anything to report out from the Real Estate Committee?
There is none.
Okay. And is there anything to report out from the 50th Anniversary Committee?
Yes, Cora is gonna have to help me out a little bit, but I want to commend them, the committee, for working with Cora and her, Patrick and others. We have received 4 diamond sponsors and 2 bronze sponsors, so we're getting the money, and that's where I was alluding to earlier, that some of the money that we get hopefully we can help eliminate some of those delinquencies. And they have volunteered for radio stations, interviews, and etc. What else, Cora? You got the list. I got a list that's so long. I'll
That's
let
fine.
you go ahead.
Right. So we're just following up with the local radio stations, newspapers, just to make sure that we are doing that PR out there. That's also to help us expand getting sponsorships. So we're just reaching back out to them. So if you see us on the news or the radio, please share that. Or if you have a contact, we're looking for that as well. We have found a local organization here that we're going to be doing our videos, so we will be doing video showcasing staff and our programs and maybe more tenant spotlights that that the board seems like they like. So they will be doing those editing as well. So we're going to start working on those clips for the gala, working on some live entertainment. So get your dancing shoes on. There's going to be some live music at the gala. So we're just really at the final stages. We're just a couple of months away. I think our main focus, as Mr. Roberts said, is sponsorships, because that's going to help us with our foundation with being able to then do more resident services. So that's kind of our main focus, of course, is getting those sponsorships.
And in addition to that, some of the money that we do raise, we want to fill the room in a sense, and
Yes.
we will be working with selective tenants,
Yes.
maybe like Mr. Turner and others to pay their way to the event.
Oh, definitely.
And so-
Definitely. We're going to invite, our resident advisory board, FSS residents. So we'll definitely have our residents program participants there at the event, just for the celebration, of course. So
We want people to pay first, but if
Oh.
they can't pay, we do have the resources there.
right.
Okay,
Yeah, that's where we are. So we're doing well.
thank you.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
The team is doing well.
Thank you. Anything else from the 50th Anniversary Committee? Is there a reason to go into executive session today?
There's none.
Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Bye.
I adjourn at 10:30. Thank you, everyone.